Hello and welcome everyone to another StarCraft 2 England stream. Today I'm going to be casting the ASUS Republic of Gamers Assembly Winter 2012 quarter-final games, or rather one set of games, and it is between Stephano and AcerElfi. So we've got Stephano down in the bottom left position, playing as the purple Zerg, and we've got Elfi as the red Protoss player in the top right position. Now the map is Antigua Shipyard. It is a tournament version of the map, so there is this supply depot here which does prevent any form of walling off. Obviously a key feature of this map is it's quite easy to get a forward fast expand down. It's also very easy to hold your third base, and it'll be interesting to see what both players decide to do following on from this. So Stephano obviously just got through. I cast his game in the round of 16, so it'll be interesting to see what he does from here. He was playing against Real, so he went 2-0 in that game, in those games, so very good set for Stephano there. He is playing absolutely amazingly at the moment, and there is going to be a forge fast expand from Elfi here, so very common, almost expected. And meanwhile Stephano is just probably going to get that 15 pool build. I mean, it's the safest build to do against Protoss, because if they are forge fast expanding and you do go for hatch first, you just die to cannons. And if you go for anything earlier than a 15 pool, then really you're screwing yourself out of that really effective economic game. So you have to do a lot of damage if you go for anything sooner than a 15 pool. So we are going to see the forge go down, and basically this is all very standard play. Stephano got the 15 pool, and Elfi just using this probe to deny that hatch for as long as possible. Stephano is going to try and micro this drone in order to clear it out, but I mean, it's not too difficult to do at all, but it is just delaying this hatch for as long as possible, and actually going for the pylon drop as well. So the pylon will obviously delay that hatch quite significantly. Stephano already working that drone on killing it. The drone will take a long time to kill it. Now what will be interesting is the forge has now finished for Elfi, and it'll be interesting to see whether it is a cannon first or Nexus first build. Now Elfi is just coming in here to scout Stephano out, to see how many lava he's got, exactly what he's doing, to see whether it's going to be kind of a really quick 6-ling. And Elfi did actually let this pylon finish, so does want to get that hatch delayed as long as possible. Meanwhile, going for the Nexus first build, so I'll be following that up with a cannon nose. That it is pretty safe. Stephano can't do too much at the moment. He's getting out these Zerglings, but only actually 2 Zerglings coming out. So Stephano just instead going straight away for this third base, which is a very normal follow-up. If you do get your natural pylon blocked by a Protoss player, then just go and take your third base, because that's what you're going to be doing anyway. You're going to be getting 3 bases. It is the dumb thing. So you might as well just do them in the wrong order. Now a photon cannon is coming down, as well as a gateway here for Elfi. 2 gases are now just being taken, so we may see some early tech play. This Overlord just scouting around, running away the second he sees the cannon, and the pylon is now down. Stephano starting his third hatch at about 4 minutes 18, so very early. All very safe though, because obviously he will be able to get enough stuff if he needs it, transferring these drones down to his third/second base. And I mean, Elfi's in a good position. That Nexus is coming down. A very well defended front. Just keeping this probe here just to complete the wall off at the time being, in case any link pressure does come in. But I mean, Stephano's got great map control. He's got these 2 Overlords here, just covering the area of vision that he can't see from the watchtower, and obviously has a single link at the watchtower. So having a single link at the watchtower only costs him 25 mils. And gives him near complete vision, so definitely a very worthwhile investment. Stephano still hasn't got any gases down, which is to be as expected, just mass droning. Is getting 2 more Zerglings to come down, has got 1 here just poking up at the front to see exactly what's going on. We'll see that there's absolutely nothing coming out of the gateway as of yet, only just starting now with 1 sentry, so Stephano can be pretty sure from that it's not going to be any kind of super early zealot harassment or anything. Meanwhile, just 2 more Zerglings coming out to have a little scout around to see what is going down. The third base for Stephano just finishing now. Still no gas at any position. Is getting his second queen rather, I do believe. Just having a go. No, third queen is now down for Stephano, so his injects will get kind of synced up eventually. I believe they are pretty synced up anyway. And the second base for Elfi is now kind of just getting up and established. Done a good probe transfer. a robotics facility actually dropping down straight away now. So 1 gateway, 1 robo. Now, nothing wrong with that build at all, but it'll be interesting to see what Elfi does follow up with. +1 just starting as we speak. 2 extractors being taken for Stephano as well. The injects are obviously perfect. Just going around, just injecting everything just as he should be. And I mean, you'd expect nothing less. This is the quarterfinal of ASUS Republic of Gamers Assembly Winter 2012. Now, still just getting Warp Gate Tech out. He's just getting a couple more sentries. Got 2 sentries already. The robotics facility is finishing up. Most probably going to see an observer come straight out of there. Actually, no. A warp prism is on its way. And we are seeing more gateways now. So we're probably going to see some drop play here. It'll be interesting to see just exactly how many gateways do come down. Only 2 at the moment. So 3 gateways, which will be quite effective. But there is this Zergling here. Now, if this Zergling is on a patrol pattern, it's not actually on a patrol pattern. It's just attacking everything. So maybe I'll sneak that warp prism through. But nonetheless, I mean, with only 2 more gateways and giving him 3 gates total, he could have a hard time because Stephano is completely saturated his mineral lines at all 3 bases. I mean, he's already on 63 drones at the 8-minute mark. And to be honest, he's got that Rotron down. So if he does get any hint of this warp prism, he can just go for it. And there are sentries coming in. So the only thing that could be done here is if he does a force field block on the ramp. Stephano could have some difficulties reinforcing there. Now, Spore Crawler is on its way down, but not really needed against a warp prism. Immortal follow up to this, so just getting some Immortals out, getting another gateway. And I mean, he is ready to warp in, getting 2 more gateways actually. 2, 3, 4, that getting 4 more gateways on top of his 3, so that brings him to a 7 gate. So this is pretty all-inish. That warp gate is warp prism is now in. The sentries are there, trying to wall off with some force field, only actually getting a single drone there. Now that Rotron is going to get target fired down because really that's the most essential thing that needs to die if this is going to be successful. But Elfi just pulling back, he can't get enough damage here, and there's just so many units. If we go to the units lost tab, it was actually 2 drones is all that is being killed the entire match by Elfi. So that is not a position you want to be in as a Protoss player going in here. I mean, this build that Elfi's gone for, that had to do a lot of damage in order to be effective. And Stephano even taking his 4th base now. And obviously, because it is a tournament version of the map, this isn't a gold base. It wouldn't have really mattered because there's no Terran player here, but still no gold base there, just standard blue minerals. Now, Elfi's just had to pull back, and I mean, quite a few units there, and unfortunately, no, the Immortals can fit through. I thought they were getting stuck, but no. And Stephano just poking in the front. Elfi looking to be going to try and take the 3rd base as quickly as possible, but obviously, Spire is on its way down, and Macro Hatch also on its way down, as well as the 4th base for Stephano. Stephano's got 77 drones, so has hit the sweet spot of drones, and is now just going to start powering units. Getting double upgrades now, +1 ranged attack is on the way. Those roaches are going to become extremely effective. Obviously, upgrades wise for Elfi, it's just +1 attack, and Elfi actually moving out now. So there's 3 Immortals in there, quite a lot of Stalkers and a lot of Sentries. Now the Immortals will obviously completely destroy the roaches, and this base, 4th base here, for Stephano only just finished. Now that's in a very hard position to defend. So it'll be interesting to see what Stephano does. Just pumping out 3 more roaches now, got some units, but Stephano has got apparently a large supply lead, but a lot of that, remember, is going to be of drones. So that 4th base just gets completely demolished by the Immortal Stalker and Sentry army there. And Stephano just trying to spread out his units to get as much as he can. Those rocks to the 3rd have already been taken out, and that back pylon is going to get taken down, but just more pylons coming down here for Elfi. Has got the 7 gateways in position in order to keep gating, and Elfi just getting as many as possible and just walking straight into the 3rd base of Stephano. And Stephano is just trying to rapidly take out as many pylons as he can, because if he stops the reinforcements, he should be able to get a force up which is able to deal with this. And those force fields, not the greatest in the world, didn't manage to trap too much, but 2 pylons did finish, and obviously every warp in does cause some problems. Now Stephano pulling those drones off to somewhere. All the drones from the 3rd base have now gone. Those roaches are walking to their death. The rally point not ideal. And just a spine crawler wall going down here. Meanwhile, Stephano just grabbing down a third base up here now, trying to do as much as he can to defend this. But I mean, this is a really scary force of Elfi here. Stephano spent so much time droning. There's just so many Stalkers and Immortals. The only plus side for Stephano is he is about to get ahead in upgrades. So those upgrades will obviously make a large amount of difference, but the Immortals will just wreck that Roach army, and the Warp Prism being used incredibly effectively to warp in. Now there's a lot of Spine Crawlers here, but the problem is Immortals do incredible damage against armoured units and buildings. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what goes down here. The other thing is those force fields are fantastic, really blocking up the access for the Roaches, stopping Stephano being able to bring his army in. So Elfi just really focusing on dealing with the Spine Crawlers as quickly as possible, doing maximum damages to the Roaches. The force fields weren't quite perfect there, so some units are going to manage to get through. That Warp Prism being used again just to resupply in the middle of the battle. Some great force fields going down again. The gases are going to be gone for Stephano relatively quickly, and there's some great force fields, not quite managing to trap any units there, but they're exactly what Elfi needed there. Manages to pick off a couple more Roaches, and there's just so many forces. More warpings going down as well. Stephano does now have the upgrade advantage, trying to pull all the drones, but those force fields are perfectly timed and positioned, and it's just literally slicing up Stephano's army into manageable chunks while taking hardly any damage himself. The Immortals doing absolutely huge damage to the Roaches themselves. All the drones have been pulled. Stephano is expanding again up in the very north position, but I mean, that might really make any difference here. Elfi has for the first time in this game taken the supply lead, and there you go, Stephano has been beaten with a congratulations, slightly sarcastically you could read into that, but Stephano has finally been killed. So that was game 1, and it is currently 1-0 to Elfi. Tune in and check out game 2. I'm going to cast that now. I mean, what I may actually do is I might just do this as a bulk cast. So, no, actually I won't. I will switch to game 2 and I will link them all together. So, if you liked it, tune in for the second game.